Hi, pretty black girl. So, today I wanted to talk about not fitting the stereotype as a black woman because, as we all know, black women are not a monolith. Newsflash, but that's something a lot of us are aware of, that we are not a monolith and we all live very different lives and we don't fit one box. However, some ignorant people are not aware of that fact. And I am here to tell you, if you're not aware, that not all black women are the same, and not all black women fit their stereotype. In fact, I feel like most of us don't fit the stereotype. Stereotypes are just there because of the systems that were created and the prejudices people have towards certain type of groups of people. And I'm talking specifically about black women right now. And I just feel like people need to go out more and socialize with more people, because really the diversity when it comes to black women is out of this world. We have so many different people from different backgrounds, and people grew up in different households. People have gone through different experiences, and that kind of molds you into the person who you are. And to be very honest, on a day-to-day basis, I do not encounter black women that fit this stereotype. It's very, very rare that I actually do see that on a day-to-day. So stereotypes are stereotypes because of the systems that have been created, but there are also people that obviously fit the stereotype. And I'm going to just put it out there. I think anyone can be who they are. And if you do happen to fit this stereotype, okay, so be it. But the reality of it is that I don't think most black women fit this stereotype. It's just not true. It's not what I see on a day to day. So I do find it kind of surprising when people feel like someone should fit a stereotype. So, what I mean by that is that we all are aware of the fact that stereotypes are stereotypes, right? So, why do people act surprised when a black woman does not fit a stereotype? And I'm saying this because, out of my experience and my life experiences that I've had, I just feel like people are act somewhat surprised in the way that they behave towards me. It's like, oh, I thought you would be this way, but you turn out to be different than had thought, which is probably their prejudice that they had, this, aka the stereotypes that they had in their mind of the person that I should have been, but the person that I am not, in reality. And then they act surprised, and that also kind of changes the way that they treat you. And I am someone that is pretty, I would say I'm quite introverted. The older that I get, the more introverted that I've become as a person. And I think it's because I really like to protect my peace a lot. I don't like to look for drama. I always like to be on my own. Well, not always, but I'm just a quite introverted person. I'm kind of in the middle, to be honest. I can be a very social person. I can talk very easily with people, but yet I really appreciate my own company and my own peace. And I do not really like to speak a lot to people that I don't know. I mean, I can speak to strangers very easily at ease, but let's say, for example, at work, right? I will not sit with other colleagues because I don't really know them, right? I'll just sit on my own and have my own lunch at my break time at my own pace, because I do like my own company. I enjoy my own company, just sitting down on my own and kind of thinking or watching a video and slowly eating my meal, right? But I feel like when you are a black woman, people kind of expect you to be this very out there person. Like, you're somewhat loud. I mean, that is a stereotype of black women, right? That we are these loud women that always kind of, stand up, we're strong, right? But a lot of us don't have those qualities, and that's totally fine. I think the purpose of this video is to tell you that if you do not fit the stereotype as a black woman, that there's nothing wrong with that, and that you're totally fine and you don't have to try to fit in. This video is for you to realize that you are totally fine and not fitting the stereotype. There's nothing wrong with you. You are just good the way that you are. Don't change for anyone. Because I've noticed that people kind of have these expectations. They want you to be this very social bubble person, very kumbaya, loud, strong. But a lot of black women, I mean, I have black female friends, right, in real life. And we're not that. We're very quite, to ourselves. We're also selfish and we go after our own goals, our dreams, and we don't give face to people. And that's something that I don't do. I don't give a lot of face to people on a day to day. I do my own thing, I go after my own goals. I'm basically a pretty selfish person. And I think being selfish, there's levels to it, right? Being selfish because you care for yourself and you want to go after your goals, but there's also like being selfish and being this mean person. I am selfish because I want to go after my goals, my dreams, etc., right? And I feel like because black women are known as these people that are as women that are very nurturing, and we should care for others, and we should always be smiling and always be this loud, funny woman. And I'm not that. I am not that. I can be funny, I can also be very expressive, but I choose to who I want to be those things to. I am not going to perform, at a new place, for example, at a new job, and kind of act like this very strong, loud black woman that is funny, trying to entertain everyone just to please everyone. I'm not that. I'm not going to give you face. I'm going to be pretty to myself and quiet and do my own work because, first of all, I don't know you. Second of all, I really don't owe you anything. And I think more black women should move with that mindset that you don't have to please everyone that you're around with. You are there to do your own work, do your own stuff, and they have to deal with it, really. We're not there to be someone's mother to nurture you because we're not your mother. You have to realize that you have to be very selfish in this society because every other woman from every other race does it. And I don't know, for some random reason, why we are expected to be this nurturing, motherly figure to others. Maybe because we were the first, right? We're black people are the first on this world, this planet, right? So then maybe that's why it's expected from us. But I just want to tell you that you're no one's mother, and you do not have to nurture other people to feel like you will be seen. Be who you are as you are, be yourself, and you not fitting the stereotype doesn't take anything away from you. You're doing right. You're doing the right thing. And this is not to bash black women who do fit the stereotype. Because, okay, let's take, for example, Sexy Red, right? I enjoy listening to Sexy Red. I'll admit it. I really do like listening to some of her songs. It's fun, it's funny, and it's really club music that you listen to. Sometimes a girl just has her ratchet moment. Okay, I'll admit it. And I do also think that everyone should be allowed to express themselves how they want to. We have the Sexy Reds, we have the, you name it, the stereotypes, right? And I think those should also be allowed because not everyone should be molded into this, I guess, good character, for lack of better words. No, there's people out there that are going to be different and they're going to fit the stereotype. Does it tarnish our image? Perhaps. But the reality of it is that there is bad groups in every single community, every single group, race group. But also, who says that it's per se bad? That's also kind of subjective if you think about it. But that's a whole nother discussion. The thing I want to point out is that not fitting the stereotype as a black woman can cause this kind of social confusion, especially when people have these perceived notions about you and they end up being surprised. They're like taken aback, and they start treating you somewhat, I don't know what words to really use, but they treat you indifferent because they expected something from you, but you're not giving that in return. And me personally, I have really learned to not give people as much face because I've always been this very sweet, kind girl and always trying to kind of please everyone around me, right? People pleasing, for lack of better words. I did have those tendencies, but as I got older, I realized that it doesn't serve me in any way or form because at the end of the day, I'm not going to please anyone. And right now, I'm at the state where I really do not care to please everyone, even family. And that's a harsh reality you will have to face, that you cannot please everyone, and not everyone will be pleased by the things that you do. That's something that you'll have to accept. And if you are a Black woman that already does that, you know that there's people out there that don't like you because of that fact, the sole fact that you do not please everyone. And that's just something that you have to deal with. But also, I think it brings you a lot of peace. It has brought me a huge amount of peace not pleasing everyone, even my family. Because you know what? One thing that people forget is that you have free will. When you are, not in some sort of jail or whatever it is, you're not kind of locked up or in a dangerous, harmful environment, you have free will. You have free will, and you have the right to choose for yourself, and there should be no guilt there. And I do think that there's a lot more Black women realizing the fact that they have free will and that they can choose whatever they want, and that they can just make their own decisions without feeling bad. I feel like I'm starting to see this sort of movement. Well, I don't even know if it's a movement, but I do see it even in the media with my friends, and that more Black women are just choosing for themselves. And I really love to see that happening, and just the fact that we just want to choose for ourselves and we want better, you know. But also going back to the whole not fitting a stereotype thing, I just feel like we are especially more pressured to behave a certain type of way where it is palatable and it's kind of safe for people because that's what they expect from you. But when once you kind of do not fit that stereotype, then you're seen as problematic, you're seen as stuck up, you're seen as mean, and even the angry Black woman, just for the fact that you speak up for yourself. And you might have not necessarily come across as angry, but you might have just spoken up for yourself. God forbid a woman has her own opinion and she happens to be Black, you know? God forbid. So I just feel like if you don't fit the stereotype of being this welcoming woman or being loud or being the funny Black woman, then it's like an issue. And also pair it with the fact that you are beautiful and you fit the beauty standard. That's the video that I was talking about last time. I feel like once you don't fit the stereotype and you're beautiful, you're smart, you basically are the standard. What, you're the standard, what a woman is kind of expected to be in society. The only thing is that you're Black, you're beautiful, and you're all these great things. People are just going to treat you differently. And why I speak about these videos so much is because I know that other Black women can relate to it. And I think it's a beautiful way to connect. And also, these are also my experiences. These things that I mention on videos, I speak about it so freely because these are my realities. People treat me different. Matter of fact, it's something that's still going on. And talking about it makes me realize that I'm probably not the only one. I read the comments and I see that you guys are also have gone through something similar, if not the same. And also speaking about it makes me, it's kind of a form of therapy in a way. But I just feel like people are not really understanding of the black girl, the black woman that is really just, she's selfish. She goes after her bag. She has high standards. She's beautiful. She's intelligent. She speaks with, she speaks eloquent, and she doesn't just take any bullshit for what it is, and she doesn't fit the stereotype. People are not really ready for that black woman. They hate to see a black woman with all those qualities coming, and that's why people hate on women like Olandra or Shelley, and the list goes on of the amount of black women that receive hate because they're different. And I'm here to tell you that there's nothing wrong with you. You're just too good to be true. And people are just not ready for us. They're not ready for us kind of being slightly different. And it also reminds me of JT. I know JT is the city girl, and some might argue that she fits the stereotype, but I think the kind of direction she's going into when it comes to her music is kind of this like alt black girl, which people are not ready for. People do not like seeing black women just doing things that society doesn't expect you to present as, right? So JT was a city girl, she kind of was doing this rap thing. She still is, doing rap, and I like JT. I like JT songs as well. But she kind of is kind of she's kind of going into the whole alt direction, and people kind of also were slightly negative about it. And I really think it's because of the fact that, well, it might be several reasons, obviously, but I do think that because people expect you to portray a certain type of way, that they always have these prejudice against you. And I don't know, it's just a bit sad to see that people cannot accept that a black woman can come in so many forms. We can be introverted, we can be extroverted, we can be both. We can be nerdy, we can be quirky, we can, want to be alt girlies, we can be adventurous and want to love doing hiking. And because we like all these things, it doesn't mean that we are whitewashed. Or even when a black girl straightens her hair, right? Or she happens to like her hair, when it's straight more, and she thinks it's more manageable, people will tell you things like call you things like whitewashed, or all these just weird stereotypes. Or you happen to have a diverse type when it comes to romantic preferences. People will call you whitewashed, or you only like white guys because you have a certain type of voice, and you name it, when these people actually don't even know you. The gag is you might only like black men, but because you talk a certain type of way, or you walk a certain type of way, or you dress a certain type of way, it's, oh, she only likes white guys. Whole time your type is black men. So it's just so interesting how people can have these judgments and put it onto you, but really they don't know you. They do not know you. And that's also what you need to realize when people are judging you and they have all these stereotypes towards you. Just know that these people don't know you, they're not close to you, and don't take it personal. Just take it as people have been kind of brainwashed in a sense by the media, and they've seen all these things about black women and black people, and that has been stuck in their minds for decades, and that's what they think. But the reality is that not all black people are the same, and that's what people need to accept. That's really all I wanted to spit for now. I think that you should just continue to be yourself and not change for anyone. Continue to be the person who you are. You're just too hot to handle for them, and that's okay. Everyone likes their tea differently, and if they cannot drink a cup of tea, don't let them drink it, and just be yourself and continue to stay positive and stay beautiful, smart, And yeah, that's all I wanted to say for today. Stay beautiful.